So welcome to this HTML and CSS class. Let's dive right in. HTML is the standard markup language for web pages. That is, if you want to build web pages, what you need to use is HTML. With HTML, you can create your own website. HTML is an acronym. It literally means Hypertext Markup Language. How HTML works. So we already said that HTML means Hypertext Markup Language. HTML describes the structure of a web page. So for example, if you're trying to build a website and you want your computer to know the structure of your website, you're going to use HTML language to communicate with the computer how you want the structure of your web page to be. So the way it works is that HTML consists of a series of elements or tags. HTML element or tags tell the browser how to display the content. So let's say you want to write a content, I am a boy. You will put I am a boy into a tag, and based on the kind of tag you put I am a boy into, the web browser will know how it's going to display that particular content. So this is an example of a tag. This is an angle bracket or a less than sign. This is a greater than sign. So you write the name of your tag here, and then this together is called the opening tag, and then this is a closing tag. The difference between the opening tag and the closing tag is the slash. So you can write HTML on any text editor. Because we can write HTML in any text editor, we're going to go ahead and write it on Notepad. So I'm just going to open up Notepad, and I'm just going to write I am learning HTML, and I'll go ahead and save it. I would save it on my desktop, and I would save it with index.html, and that's it. So I saved it with index.html. Everything is fine, everything is okay, we are all good. And so this is the basic HTML file now. So if I go to my index page, I should find a file that says index. So I'm just going to go to my desktop. I should find a file that says index. You can see it's already showing with my browser as my default program. So I'm just going to double click on it, and it should open up in my browser, and you can see I am learning HTML. So what we want to do is to put this in the tag. So we're going to put it in a tag called heading 1 tag. Now this is how you write your heading 1 tag. You write H1 opening tag, and then you write your closing tag. Remember the slash H1, and that is it. So if we save that, Ctrl S, or you come to file and you hit save, and just like that, if you refresh, you find that this is in the H1 tag. So I'm going to go ahead and continue our class. So you can see we have some H1 here, we have some paragraph tag, some H3 tag, some another paragraph tag. So this is heading 1, this is paragraph tag. You can see the opening tag, you can see the closing tag, you can see the H3 tag, the opening tag, and the closing tag. So we have H1 to H6, which is heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, heading 4, heading 5, heading 6. Now we have some empty tags, and we have some nested tags. Empty tags are tags that don't have closing tag. For example, you have the HR tag and the BR tag. And nested tags are tags that contain other tags. For example, this is called the UL tag, which means unordered lists, which contains LI tags, which is list items. So if you have a list, you have list items inside of it. So this UL tag on ordered list tag contains the list item tags. So we're going to try all of this very quickly, and we are just going to go back to our subline text. So we'll try the paragraph tag. We'll say P, and then we'll say, wow, this is so cool. You type or tag and get a different appearance, whatever appearance. Okay, so we close our tag, angle bracket slash P angle bracket. So you can see we're going to save it, Control S, or we'll come here and say save, and then we'll refresh our web page. You can see, so this is, whoa, this is cool, blah 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 blah. So you can see this paragraph tag is much different from the H1 tag or the heading 1 tag. So we're going to try another tag. We'll try the H3 tag now, just like we saw earlier. We'll say this is a smaller heading. So we're going to just do that H3 closing tag, and then we'll file save or Control S, and then we will do that. So you can see this is a much smaller heading. H3 is smaller than H1, H2 is smaller than H1, H4 is smaller than H3, H5 is smaller than H4, H6 is smaller than H5, but they are all headings. So heading 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's try another paragraph tag. So we have another paragraph tag. So P, and we're going to say blah 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 blah. And so we're going to do that, close the tag, save, Control S, and then we will come here and see, you see you have blah 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 blah. So we're going to try a tag, an empty tag, just like we saw in our example. So you see we're going to try some of these empty tags, and so the first empty tag we want to try is HR. So we just come here, HR meaning horizontal rule. So after this H1 now we expect to see horizontal rule. So S, and then we go to our, so you can see we have this nice horizontal row, everything good, everything golden. Okay, so we're going to try the break tag, and now we're going to try the break tag. So somewhere in this blah 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 blah, we're going to put a break tag. So the BR tag, it has no closing tag, so that's just it, that's all of it, and we would refresh. You can see it has broken it into two. So we have blah 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 blah, break tag, blah. Now we're going to have one more break tag there, so we have 2 breaks instead of 1 break, and refresh. So you have break and then blah blah. You understand? So that's the break tag for you, and those are empty tags. HR, BR, they are more like the input tag, the image tag, they are empty tags. So we're going to go ahead and write a little bit more. So let's look at our, let's look at nested tag. So we are going to check for our nested tag. You can see we have this unordered list and list items. So we're going to go ahead and work on our unordered list. So we're going to say UL, and we're going to close our UL, and we're going to put some li in it. So we're going to say li. We forgot our opening of our opening, so li and closing li. So now in HTML there is such a thing as indentation. I'm going to copy this first. There's such a thing as indentation. Because this li tags is in the ul tag, is inside the ul tags, so this list item is in this unordered list, it makes sense for us to space them out properly. So we're going to tab once. We're going to go to the tab key. Tab key is just above your caps lock key. We're going to tab it once, and I want to copy this one, Ctrl C, and I want to paste it, let's say about 4 times, and I'm just going to write random things inside of them. Monkey, lion, rat, and pigs, just random thing. So we save that, and then we'll check it in the browser. We'll come here, hit refresh. So you can see we have a nice little unordered list. There's another one that looks like it, so we're just going to do that one, copy, and we'll come down here and paste, and instead of unordered list, which is ul, we're going to do ordered list. So we have an ordered list, ordered list, and that's it. You see, we got an ordered list. So we have a monkey, lion, rat, just bullet points, and here we have no bullet points. So we're going to go ahead and check out what else we can do with our HTML. So we're going to here, and we'll talk about attributes. HTML elements can have attributes. So all HTML elements which are tags can have attributes, and these attributes provide additional information about elements. Attributes are always specified in the start tag or the opening tag. So this is your closing tag, this is your opening tag. You always put attributes in the opening tag, and they usually come in name value pairs. So you have an attribute name and an attribute value, attribute name and attribute value. For example, you have an attribute of type and the value is circle. You have an attribute of src and the value is nisa.png. You have another attribute of height and the value is 300 pixels. So we're going to just take care of that real quick. So we are going to our HTML page. We're going to come here, give this an attribute of type. So we say type equal to, remember we said name and value, so the name of the attribute is type, and the value is circle. And so we save that, and then we check. So you see we got nice little circles, and then we're going to say the same thing for this one. We say type, and the value is A. So we save that, and we check. We got A, B, C, D. So let's do the value as I, and we save that. We check. We got I, V, and everything is just cool. So let's go back to our. So we have another example where we do an image tag. So let's do an image tag, and let's say we have an image tag. an image tag. So let's have the image tag. So angle brackets IMG SRC, this is the attribute equal to, and then we have the closing. So we will say this is equals to Nizar equal to Nizar.jpg. So the problem with this is that we don't have this image, so we're going to try to get that image to our desktop. So I'm just going to go to resources. I'm going to look for any image of my choice. I will copy it and I will go back to my desktop and I will paste it just in the same location as this folder, and I will rename it to Nizar. And we already know that this file is a JPEG file, so the file extension will be JPEG, so JPG. So just like we saved our file, our index file with .html, which shows that is a HTML file, the same way we're going to save this with .jpeg because it's a JPEG file. And so we'll save that and we check our browser, and we have this really large image, too large. So we're going to try to control that by controlling the height. So we'll say HI, and then we'll say equal to, and we want 300 px, and that will be it. So with that, we have this nice cute little image, and so we have our image there and everything is cool. So we go back and too bad, now we've come to the end of this class. We will take it from here in the next class. Practice what you have seen, do it twice, and we will see you in the next class.